Yesterday we were discussing addictions, and today we're discussing something really interesting: why we get invested in our own illnesses, the role, function, purpose and intention of any symptom, and how to overcome it. I want to talk to you more today about your physical and indeed your emotional health. You see, not being well enough, not having optimum health, having illnesses, having a weak immune system, having lots of little illnesses or one major one, what you need to factor in that can be guided and influenced by our thoughts, our physical symptoms, our body having dis-ease, which means it's not at ease, is absolutely guided and influenced by our thoughts. That's why unhappy people get sick much more than happy people. That's why if you give someone who's madly in love a tiny dose of poison, doesn't even impact them. Give someone who's alone and stressed and unhappy an even tinier dose of that same poison, they become sick. Because our symptoms, our bodies are influenced by our thoughts. You know, that's actually great news, because you can change your thoughts so much quicker than you can change your body. And I began to realize very early on that many of my clients had illnesses that wouldn't go away. They go, I got rid of the anxiety, then I had panic attacks, I stopped this nervous twitch, but then I got a stammer, because no one is treating what I call what lies beneath. If an illness has a role, function, purpose and intention, you must identify that and fix that, and then you fix everything. And I've seen this with tiny children. I worked with a little boy who had really bad eczema, and I said to him, darling, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but if the eczema was your friend, and it wanted to help you, how would it help you without skipping a beat? He said, well, I stand like that every night, and Mummy puts wet bandages and cream on my body, and when she's doing it, she doesn't put any cream on that baby. And there it was, a little boy who watched Mummy massage the new baby. And because they said, Mummy, can I have cream? She said, don't be silly, you're not a baby. Mummy, I want that cream. Don't be silly, it's for the baby. And he thought, I want Mummy to put cream on me. And what happened? He got eczema, and Mummy put lots of cream on him. A little boy who had excruciating migraines. That's very unusual for a small child. And I said the same thing, darling, I know this is silly, but let's play a game. If the headaches were your friend and wanted to help you, how could they help you? He said, straight away, when Mummy and Daddy fight, I get very bad headaches, and then we put all the lights off, and I lie in the dark. And it has to be very quiet, and then the headaches go away. And it doesn't take much to imagine a little kid listening to Mummy and Daddy screaming who thinks, I want them to stop screaming. I wish they wouldn't shout. How can I stop them shouting? That is a direct command to the mind. I need them to stop shouting. A child of 5 can't say, by the way, your behavior is very unreasonable and it's causing me trauma, but the body can. And so he got excruciating headaches and they stopped fighting. And these are children. But I see this with adults time after time after time again. I worked with a man who had so many allergies. He was allergic to apples, to pollen, to watermelon. He told me something very interesting. He said, I lived with my mum and my aunt and my grandmother. I didn't see my dad very much. And one day he came and he took me out for lunch. He said, wind up the window because I'm allergic to pollen. And then at the restaurant he said, I can't eat apples, they make my mouth swell. He said, and I went home and I ate an apple and my mouth swelled up. And just before that happened, I said, I wish I could be like my dad. I want to be like my dad, and I want my dad to see how like him I am, and then he might spend more time with me, because I'm living with 3 women and I want to be with my dad. And he never understood that mind-body connection. He kind of told his mind, I want to be like my dad. He got the same allergies his dad had, and that was an amazing thing. I worked with a girl who was trying to have IVF, and she didn't even have periods. She could not have a baby. And they were giving her drugs to stimulate her ovaries. Nothing worked. When I worked with her, she said, you know, I remember now that when I first got my period, I was so disgusted. I just was horrified, and I wished I never had them. And I got really bad cramps, and my aunts came for Sunday lunch, and I had to stay in bed, and I thought, I hate having periods. If only they'd go away forever. And then they went away, and every time I walked past the Tampax, I go, yes, because I didn't have periods. I thought that was something great, but now I want a baby, they won't come back. Because you've got to be very careful how you dialogue with your mind. Our illnesses have a role, function, purpose, intention. Our illnesses have a job. I worked with another girl who had such bad migraine. She was having injections every day to try and stem them. And she said, you know, my dad expects so much of me. He's always saying, what's wrong with you? Why can't you be like me? Look at my success. You're my daughter. Why can't you be as good? And he says to his friends, oh, I don't know what's wrong with my daughter. She just, all the money I spent on her education, she's just wasting her life. Now I have migraines. He says, oh, my poor daughter, you know, she could be as smart as me. She could be as successful as me, but you know, it's the migraines. It's a get out of jail card. It's an excuse. I'm allowed to fail. Even obesity, even excess weight often has a role, function, purpose and intention. It has a job. And until you find out what the job is and work that out, it will come back and it will come back. And there is no point in treating allergies or issues or aches and pains. Remember I told you the ER doctor that said 70% of our patients have issues. The symptoms are real, but the cause is going on in their mind. So what you're learning today, and this is super important, it's one of the things that all my graduates say is a game changer. Many of my grads say, with every client I see, I always do role, function, purpose, intention, because it's so empowering and so freeing. So you're understanding today that if you have an illness, an issue, a symptom, a poor immune system, an ability to get sick, allergies, eating the wrong food, believing that you can't give it up, that issue has a role, function, purpose, intention, and a job. And their job is to do something for you. And when you locate that, everything changes. When you don't, you'll continue with symptom after symptom after symptom. Because your mind and body think that this has a benefit for you. So let's go straight into your exercise for today, which is to identify the role, function, purpose. In identifying it, you are able to let it go, because understanding is power. It's phenomenal power when you do it the right way. So go to your workbook. And I want you to think of the symptom you have. Maybe you just get lots and lots of colds and are always run down. Maybe you have a nervous stomach, an upset stomach, poor digestion. Maybe you get headaches a lot. Maybe you feel down or depressed or low or sad. Maybe you've got 20 or 100 pounds that just seems to stick to you and it doesn't want to go away. And let me imagine your name is Amanda. I want you to write down in your book, I am Amanda's headaches. And now I have a voice, I can tell you my job for Amanda is to, and you fill that in without thinking about it too much. I'm John's depression. And now I have a voice, I'm here to tell you that my job for John through the depression is to. So write it out exactly like that. Fill in the blanks, but don't think about it. Do a form of automatic writing. When you've written it, my job is to protect her, because it will always be to protect you or to punish you. Then you say, I'm protecting Andy from, fill that in. And I must protect Andy from being rejected because, and then I want you to do it again. I'm Andy's headaches, and my purpose in her life is to. I'm Andy's headaches, and my role in her life is to. I'm Andy's headaches, my intention for her, the reason I'm here is to. I know this seems like work, but this is groundbreaking stuff. And let's say you put in to protect her. Then you have to protect her from unwanted attention, from people lusting after her, to protect her from getting things wrong. And when you've got that information, just gather information. Don't think about it, just gather it. And when you finish gathering it, go back and say, oh, I see. When I was 7, I needed the headaches because I got attention. I needed the pain. I got noticed. You know, often as children, when you have a pain, that's how you get attention. It's so effective that we keep it. Then you go back and say, look, I can understand when I was 7, I needed this pain. I was going to all these allergy specialists, getting special cream, having a gluten-free diet. It made me feel special. My mum had to make me special food, and it filled a need to belong. But now I'm 32. I don't live with my mum, and I no longer need the symptom. And then talk to the symptom. I know it sounds crazy, but we talk to ourselves every day. If I charged my phone, forgot money for the meter, did I switch on the alarm, did I turn off the oven? We all talk to ourselves. Go back and talk to yourself. I understand the role, function, purpose of this symptom, how I got it, why I got it, when I got it. I understand something else. I don't need it. I created it because I'm so powerful, and now I can stop it. When that girl came to me with no periods, I didn't go, what an idiot you are to say that. I went, how powerful are you? At 12, you stopped yourself having periods. That's how powerful you are. Now switch them back on again. She had 1 period, got pregnant the next month. She now has 2 children. Because don't beat yourself up for what you did incorrectly. Tune into your power to dialogue with yourself and get results. Do it correctly. And then you can have radiant health, amazing health, phenomenal health. Keep looking at that workbook. Fine-tune it till you get it right. Go to the tribe and go, who here has got migraines and has suddenly realized they did it to get attention? Who here has got skin issues and did that to get noticed? Who here got everything wrong at school and was diagnosed with ADHD when all they needed was some affection and some time? Dialogue with each other. Free yourself, free them, have a better life. Tomorrow we're going to discuss all kinds of weight issues, being obese, being heavy, being 10 pounds overweight, being addicted to food, because it's a big problem, and RTT is going to help you.